Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Sterling Reads. I have my Sterling shirt on and he's laying down here by my feet. I'm in a different area today. I usually am not in this room, but it's really a dreary day, so it's the only room that I have some light. I just wanted to catch up, touch base about what I'm reading, which is basically the same things. I wanted to do a mention or recommendation for a channel. I watched a video today that was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. The video was called Why You Need to Reread Your Favorite Books, and the channel is Angela's Bookcase, so I'll link it down below. She's like so lovely and eloquent when she speaks about things, and I agreed with everything that she said, and I love to reread. I don't do as much as I would like, but rereading is a passion for me, and I hope to be rereading a lot more. I am rereading a series right now. Well, it's a trilogy, and I can get to it. I finished Winter of the World by Follett. This is the second book in the Century trilogy, and I absolutely love this. There are so many just heartbreaking moments. There's just way too much to go into, and I feel like if I talk about this or that, it's just gonna send me into a bunch of spoilers. But the one thing I love about this trilogy, and I love about a lot of his books, are that you see different points of view. Culturally, you see different points of view. Like once the war was ending, you see like how people were affected in Russia and Germany, and the hardships, and then how well it seemed like people were doing in America. Like a Russian, he went to America and was like, he took back a Sears catalog like to show his wife, and she's like, well, if everybody can afford these dresses and this furniture, why would you need communism? Which was very interesting. So I finished reading this on my Kindle. I love it, absolutely love it. And so I'm going to read in September, if I don't start it beforehand, Edge of Eternity, and this is the final book in this trilogy, and it's another wonderfully thick book. And I'm sure, sorry it's so loud, I'm sure this one's gonna make me cry and rage and laugh like the other one did. I am not sure what's going on. It's like all the loud vehicles decided to go by at once. But I feel like I recommend this trilogy, but then I know how some people feel about Follett, and I just want you to know that I am loving them, loving my reread. Another book that I have not picked back up, but I'm wanting to get back into this. This is actually a series I want to complete this year, and I want to say there's 8 books, and this is the 6th one, so I have just 3 books to go. I think the next one's Lawless, and then the third one, or the last one, is The Americans, book 8. But this is The Warriors, and I've been reading this on my Kindle too, but I think 11% on my Kindle, so I'm not very far, but I do plan to get back into this. I don't know if I'll complete it this month since I'm just barely into it, but I do plan to get back into it. So another book that I'm reading, and I'm just in the very beginning of it, really, but something very compassionate just happened. I don't know if it was true what's going to happen, or if it was just an act of kindness, that the intentions, they had good intentions, but I don't know if they'll be able to follow through with what they said they would do. But anyway, this I'm loving also. I just haven't had much time since I was really into Winter of the World got most of my attention. But anyway, The Sunne and Splendour by Sharon Penman. I'm loving this also. It's interesting because I'm listening to, what is it called? The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. I don't know how to pronounce it. And foxes were mentioned just in the very beginning of both of those. I'm really enjoying listening to, I keep forgetting what it's called, The Frozen River. That's such an easy title. I'm really tired, and it's so hot. But anyway, yeah, The Frozen River. I'm loving the characters. I haven't looked into it, but I've been told by you guys that our main character is based on a true woman in history. So I plan on looking into that more once I finish listening to the book. And yeah, I'm also interested in what the other things the author has written, because I'm really enjoying the writing, the story, like how she's telling it, the characters. I also find it interesting, something just happened. They went back to when she first was with her husband right before they got married, and it was like, oh, this character, I didn't expect her to be like that when she was younger, but it's a wonderful book, so I'm loving listening to it. Let's see. So another book I'm reading on my Kindle, I'm 47% through, and that is Never Flinch by Stephen King. I'll get back into it. I'm enjoying it just fine. It's not a favorite so far. It's one of his Holly books. It's good. It's entertaining enough, so. Let's see. Oh, something else that I have been reading on my Kindle, but I have to keep putting it down because it's so fantastic, but it's heartbreaking, and that is The River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. It's his newest release, and guys, I don't even want to tell you what it's about, because I went in completely blind. So I feel like that's kind of how you should go into it, unless you have if you need trigger warnings, I would definitely check those out before you get into it. But I'm loving it in such a heartbreaking way. And I come at it in I feel like my life experiences, I'm getting something out of it that maybe somebody else wouldn't, when it comes to like my loved ones and people that I've lost. Okay, so one more thing I want to talk about, because I don't know when I'm going to be back. I just got hired into a new job, and I have so much going on, which I know you guys all do. It's been a busy year for a lot of us. But anyway, I want to mention, I had one of my reading projects was the Great American Reads. I've been working on that forever, and my goal was to read 3 books: Memoirs of a Geisha, which I read, A Prayer for O.M. Meany, which is the best book I've read this year. It's still up there as number 1 so far, and that's by John Irving. And then the 3rd book I wanted to read is still Americanah by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichi. I hope I pronounced her name right. This has been on my list forever to read, so I still would like to read this before the end of the year. And then I added The Kite Runner to it. It's on that Great American list also, and I've been putting this off for a long time, and I feel like it'll be a good one to finally read this year, because I did love his book, 1,000 Splendid Suns, and then I read another book of his. Actually, I've read 2 more of his. I think I read a children's story of his, and then something about Echoes Off the Mountain, or Echoes of the Mountain Echoes. I don't know. Something like that I read of his, and I thought it was about a father and son, but I don't really remember much about that. But 1,000 Splendid Suns has stuck with me. I've only read it once, and I still feel and remember things that woman went through. So, but this is about 2 boys. I don't know if they're brothers, or if they grew up kind of like brothers, or just really close friends. But I know everybody says it's very good, but I just don't know how devastating it will be. But I'm already reading stuff that break my heart. So anyway, I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. Like I said, you guys have already heard I'm reading a bunch of the same stuff that I was reading before, and it's halfway through the month. I think I've only finished one thing, and that was Winter of the World, but had a fantastic time with it. For September, I'm sure some of these will follow over through, and definitely my series. At some point this year, I want to get back into my Zola, because I only finished the first book in the 20, and those are on my Kindle also, so I want to get at least read book 2, right? So that way I can get moving along into the story, learning more about what's going on. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, what I was going to say is I'm planning on doing some more rereading. Edge of Eternity is a reread, but I've been thinking about some other authors that I really loved that I'm wanting to re-experience again now that I'm older. So anyway, let me know how you guys have been doing, what you've been reading. If you have any thoughts about any of these books, I'd love to hear them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye.